Welcome to another episode of Chad's Chat.
Well, Chad, since we're talking about alt text and what Google Docs can do, we should probably talk about just links in general in PDF. Now, we know with InDesign will export a link with the content key entry. And that content key entry, as you pointed out, goes into the alternate description for links, which is that new field that's inside Acrobat, right? And then, but we know that JAWS and NVDA don't read this field. They only read the alternate text for images. So if you're testing your document with a screen reader, you're like, I don't understand why my alt text isn't coming out. That's likely because it was done in InDesign. Somebody may have done what they were supposed to do to add the alt text in the right place. But because NVDA and JAWS have a disconnect with what PDF UA and Adobe are doing, those values aren't getting read.
Right. And it's one of those frustrating things, right? Because the contents key for a link is required by PDF UA, right? Which is why we do it, right? So we're basically just kind of following the standard. We all want the green check marks when we run our report. And so we do it, right? We click the button, we run it through pre-flight in Acrobat, whatever method you use. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything to the user, right? It's right. One of these things. And we did a podcast recently about, how screen readers lie to you, right? Yep. And this isn't really about how screen readers lie to you, but the standard is saying you've got to have this element, but the screen reader isn't going to read it. Right.
Well, it's these two islands, right? You've got one island, which is the people making the rules, and the other island, which is the people listening to the content. They're creating the readers. And if both of these entities aren't in line with each other, then the people who are making up the rules are going to keep making up new rules. NVDA and JAWS are going to be like, yeah, we're not interested in that. We don't really care or understand why that's a thing, or it's on our backlog of things to fix. And the only people that suffer are the people who use the software.
Is the user.
Well, and us as remediators, because we're the ones who are like told you must pass a checker. I look at that and say, okay, that's a good benefit, but I definitely want to make sure that my document sounds right to a person using assistive technology. So, definitely two things at odds.